Hey, Nation, we're back with Andrew across the pond. Where Andrew, this morning over coffee, coffee, I was looking at some travel restrictions, and doggone it, I don't think I'm even allowed to travel across the pond to see you right now. So,
We don't want
hello.
you.
Yeah, hello. Here we are virtually.
Exactly. Oh man.
So, Andrew, we're talking Microsoft Learn. This is new to me. What is Microsoft Learn? What's going on, man? Take it away.
Thanks, Harry. Yeah, I came across this about a year or so ago. It's only recently launched. It's a completely free learning portal that Microsoft spun up. I think they did it at either last year's Ignite or maybe the summer before, but it's still quite new. So what Microsoft Learn is the way that Microsoft want to teach the world, about their products, their code, their software, and it's a self-learn concept. So you can come to the website, you can consume whatever you want from the website completely free in bite-sized chunks. They call them modules, or you can take on a full learning path. And I've spun up the website here for you to see. And one of the benefits is if you sign in, so on the top right-hand corner, you create a profile, and then it'll track what you do. You can see how far you've gone along a path. You earn credit or points, the gamification of learning, really, to be fair.
Yeah.
But that's a great motivator to finish it, to complete it, And you know that I do a lot of training videos with LinkedIn Learning and a bit on Pluralsight. And I'm really keen to see people complete a lesson plan or a learning path. And learn, yes, it's amazing. There's so much on there. So if we just take a quick look on the left-hand side where it says learning paths and then browse all learning paths, we can see at the moment there's over 1,600 free results.
It's amazing. Microsoft, yeah. Wow.
and so we've got a couple of filters on the left hand side, so we can see the different products. So we could filter by, let's say, Azure or Dynamics, or something like that's topical in your world that you want to learn more about. And then you've got a bunch of different roles. Remember, Microsoft pivoted and said, look, we want now to train people based on what they do rather than what products they use. So things like the Microsoft 365 engineer will need to know how to use Teams and use Windows and Azure Active Directory and all these components, not just one. So we're not siloing technology anymore. We're saying, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to become? So let's just take a look. For example, in the search, I'm going to type AI, because as you know, that's artificial intelligence, and it's really topical right now. So let's have a look. So let's see if we can filter this down. So there's 457 results for AI, and we can see here that there's a bunch of modules, 38 minutes, 28 minutes, and if I scroll down, we can see a learning path. Okay, so that's where they've curated a bunch of different modules together and packaged it as a pathway for you to learn. So what I'm going to do, because I've only started learning AI, I'm going to scroll all the way down to the roles and select student. Okay, so that is now going to, in effect, filter for me the beginner level. And look, this is the one I want to see. I want to see getting started with artificial intelligence on Azure. Now that's just 27 minutes to get me started, and we'll drill down into that and see. We'll have a look. And we can start it, and it'll then track where we've gone and how we do it. All the resources that we need are within the website. So if we need to go into AI within Azure, then we'll be provided with a demo environment, or we'll be provided with what's called a sandbox, where we don't need a subscription. We can just use it within the website. But you can see here, look, it's all tiny little versions, 3-minute sections, really easy to consume either on the mobile or in half an hour. You can learn what is AI, how does it apply to the Microsoft world in Azure. For example, let's have a look at computer vision. And computer vision is how the computer sees things. And look, this is a little tiny video which will then say, okay, you give me a picture, I will tell you what's inside there. And if you think about things like, you see those capture questionnaires sometimes when you need to verify your identity that you're not a robot. to prove that you're not a robot, you need to pick the things on the sidewalk, or pick the squares in the grid that's got a bicycle or a bus. That's all been validated by AI, because the AI can say that's a bus in that square and that square and that square. If you click those buttons, life's good and you get approved. The same thing here. This is computer vision at work, and this is, this will explain how the computer, how machine learning and AI will look at a picture and detect it, because it's seen thousands of buses. It knows what a bus looks like. It knows what a car looks like. It knows what a pedestrian looks like in different angles and zooms and things like that. So it can identify that, and it's really cool that you can tap into that and start building AI constructs, which is fantastic. So this is more about the introduction. So look, this image analysis, it's saying that is a person with a dog on a street, and it knows that. I think one of the demonstrations that this will walk you through is you can upload a picture of your own, and it will work out based on what it can see in there. And if you think about it, it's doing this in computer speak. It's saying, well, that's a bicycle because it looks like what I've been taught is a bicycle. You can almost imagine the zeros and ones of the computer brain saying, I don't even know what a bicycle is, but it's this set of numbers, zeros and ones, shapes on a screen. I've been told it's a bicycle, therefore it's a bicycle. So it's pretty powerful stuff. And that's, so this is just like a quick half-hour lesson so that you can understand what AI is. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And I really,
I
really like the duration.
Yeah, it's short, sharp. So this is great. If people are sat at home, thinking the world's gone crazy, it's gone mad, we're not working, we're not able to do everything we could do before, then I think let's just learn something new. Even if it's only 30 minutes or 40 minutes a day, just pick something up. This is a great area to look at. That might make you think, okay, well, I'm a healthcare worker, let's say. I enjoy what I'm doing, but what's the future of healthcare? Is it really doing it all manually? Or can we actually use some robots? Can we use some artificial intelligence to spot people who've got, a virus, or they're walking with a funny limp, or they've got ailments? Yes, they can. And if we can empower people to be aware of things like AI, add that to their skills that they already have, which might be medical, it might be healthcare, it might be, computer programming, it might be, IT. All of a sudden, we're melding, or we're mating two areas together. We're not expecting the healthcare worker, for example, to convert themselves to become an AI developer. But what we're saying is, with that AI knowledge, they can now start going, well, what if you put those two things together? Now I just need to find a developer to code it for me, and we've got a whole new product. And that's that's where you get the synergy of new learning put on something you already know. You come up with something completely new, and that's the people who write this stuff, the people who are really steeped in AI, are not healthcare workers. They're not they're not regular guys and regular girls, and that's where, putting the two things together, we get a new invention in effect, and that's pretty cool. That's why I'm really excited with this to share it with you right now.
Well, no, I can tell, and I'm over on screen number 2, trying to catch up to you. So here we go. It's learn.microsoft.com. Is what I pulled up. So that's pretty cool. I'm going to actually play around with that. So, sir, I thank you. My goodness, in typical Microsoft ways, I'm overwhelmed. They have a way of doing that. When they go big, they go big. I mean, it's just, again, I'm looking at screen number 2, and it's just like, sheesh, man. Now there's a good one. Get started building with Power BI, 47 minutes. That's something I can relate to. I definitely like the analytics and the Power BI. So I guess you've committed me to an hour that I'll never get back as I go into the 47 minutes.
Well, you might not get it back, my friend, but it will give you a new way of doing things. It's the hardest thing is admitting to ourselves we don't know what we don't know. And you talk about Power BI, that is so topical, and yet nobody uses it, and they should, because it's beautiful. What it can do is amazing. And it's almost like creating fire for the first time when people see a really nice Power BI dashboard, and they're like, how have you done that? And it's like, well, there was a spreadsheet behind it, and all I've done is pulled that data into a nice graphical interface. I get the same response when I talk to people about Power Automate. When I run a bunch of forms, people fill the forms in, and then it creates approvals and lists, all automated completely. And you think, I don't have to sit there and type all that in. I don't have to manually do that. And yet people across the world are still typing into spreadsheets rather than allowing the computer to do all that magic for you.
I got it.
Keep learning.
Well,
keep learning.
yeah,
Lifelong learning.
And you and I have had that talk. I'm on board with that. Well, sir, thank you for your contribution this month, and we'll catch you on the flip side, and keep us posted on what modules you have coming out, what books you have coming out. So let's revisit that next time. See where you're at.
All right, pal. Nice talking to you, sir. Have a good day.
All right. Thank you, Andrew.